And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Tuesday, February 21st. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories we read here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com. The Oklahoma Supreme Court has scheduled an April 19th hearing on a lawsuit concerning the water rights of two Oklahoma-based tribes in their historic territories in southeastern Oklahoma. The state's highest court will have arguments on the Oklahoma Water Resources Board requests that it assume original jurisdiction over a comprehensive stream adjudication of the water rights for the Choctaw and Chickasaw nations. The tribes have filed a federal lawsuit that they said they would not withdraw to prevent the state and Oklahoma City from transporting water from the region. State and city officials have expressed alarm over the tribe's water rights claims in 22 southeastern Oklahoma counties. The state's lawsuit asks the Supreme Court to determine who has the right to use stream and surface water in the Kayamishi, Clear Boggy, and Muddy Boggy basins. State and federal officials will offer residents of north central Montana a primer on the potential environmental and community effects of anticipated oil and gas development there. The March 1st meeting in Chateau comes as drilling activity in the Bakken fields of eastern Montana and western North Dakota spill over into areas of Glacier, Teton, and other central Montana counties. Tom Richmond from the Montana Board of Oil and Gas Conservation said several companies have been drilling exploratory wells in the prairie east of the Rocky Mountain front and on the Blackfoot Reservation. Richmond says the efforts are aimed at tapping into the Ekshaw geological formation thousands of feet beneath the surface, also known as Alberta Bakken. The meeting will include discussions of hydraulic fracturing and other drilling techniques, protection of water supplies, and regulations for man camps, such as new trailer courts and campgrounds, State Department of Environmental Quality officials said. Man camps. Leaders of the Lumbee tribe are once again stepping up their efforts to win full recognition from the federal government. The Robesonian of Lumberton reports that Tribal Chairman Paul Brooks and other leaders were in Washington, D.C. last week to meet with members of North Carolina's congressional delegation and other American Indian leaders. U.S. Representative Larry Kizell says a bill granting full recognition has 133 sponsors in the House of Representatives. Both of North Carolina's senators also support the measure. The 55,000-member tribe has been recognized by North Carolina since the 1880s. The federal government granted partial recognition in 1956, but denied the benefits that other tribes got from that kind of a designation. South Dakota man says a $5 fee charged to reserve a Native American sweat lodge is a violation of religious freedom, his religious freedom. The fee is for cost of a portable toilet on the grounds of the Sioux San Indian Health Service unit. It was put there into place after a grant to pay for the sanitation service had expired. A complaint filed by Ricky Good Voice Flute says the fee violates treaty law and spiritual law. Indian Health Service Administrator Fred Colbrick tells the Rapid City Journal that a committee of sweat lodge users voted to approve the fee, and Good Voice Flute is the only person that has complained about it. The Association of American Indian Physicians will host a two-day conference March 13th and 14th in San Diego, California, focused on developing sustainable obesity prevention programs. Entitled Fostering Sustainable Strategies to Create Healthy, Active Native Communities Conference, the gathering will offer tribal leaders, health professionals, and health researchers an opportunity to share best practices on creating the systematic, environmental, and policy changes needed to not only combat obesity, but also promote physical fitness and healthier eating in Indian country. According to the Center for Disease Control, obesity rates in America have tripled in the past 30 years, and 1 in every 3 children in the United States is obese, and Native American citizens are 1.6 times as likely to be obese than other racial and ethnic groups. A separate national study of obesity rates for low-income, preschool-aged children showed Native youth children had the highest obesity rate, 20% of the community. Additionally, American Indian and Alaska Native children were the only minority group with increasing obesity rates. For more information or to register, you can go to aaip.org. Get ready to attend the National Museum of the American Indian for a presentation on the Iroquois customs regarding diplomacy and healing called Appreciation of the Good Mind, from Forest Diplomacy to Contemporary Communities. That will be located at the National Museum of the American Indian George Gustav Hayes Center in New York City on March 10th, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. When the U.S. was founded in 1789, American Indians had nearly 200 years of experience dealing with Europeans. During those years, native people of the eastern woodlands, confederacies developed distinct protocols of diplomacy, ceremonies, forms of address, and material culture that governed the relationships with the colonial powers. Those protocols, which are still the basis for the contemporary ceremony and educational work among the Haudenosaunee communities, are the focus of the one-day symposium held at the museum. This symposium blends the research of several scholars with the messages and cultural knowledge of those traditional protocols and speeches as represented by current practitioners of the Longhouse culture. The second day of the gathering will feature a tape roundtable of Native traditional practitioners who will discuss the presentation of the traditional culture and protocols among general and specific audiences. And here we go. Quote, I am the co-chair of the Talking Circle of the St. Olaf College Native Students Association, and we are very excited to say that contemporary Cherokee folk rock musician Michael Boucher will be performing in concert at St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota on Sunday, March 4th. The concert is free and completely open to the public, and we want to extend an invitation to all those interested. We'd also appreciate it if everyone would spread the word. It's an incredible opportunity for us to have Michael perform here, and we want to share the concert with everyone and anyone that we can. He will be collaborating with St. Olaf College music students for the concert, and his music shares a message of protection for sacred sites. And we think it'll be an absolute incredible event. We hope that many will be able to attend. Thank you, unquote. And finally, that's going to be on, what was that again? What's the date on that? March 4th, Sunday, March 4th. Okay, and finally, remember to join us this weekend for the live broadcast at the annual Menominee Casino Resort Winter Welcome Powwow on Saturday, February 25th, when we cover a full day of singing, dancing, eating, socializing, and other activities there in Kashina, Wisconsin, including Smoky Town, pipe, stone, and other Wisconsin drums. All that and more at IndianCountryTVs.com's library. Be there or be called square. And that is another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. Thank you for joining with us, and come back again soon.